Greetings and thank you for joining us for the 34th episode of the Young Justice Review on DC Animation, Spenser and Friends. This is an LMG Podcast Production. Today, I'm joined by a dear friend.
Hello, all. It is me, Cassidy, yet again.
Cassidy is here joining me today. Cassidy, I'm so glad you're here.
So happy to be here as always.
And I appreciate you for joining us on this journey. Today, we will be reviewing Season 3, Episodes 21 and 22. If you've never been here before, if this is your first episode,
Welcome.
thank you so much for joining. I think you should do a little bit of catching up. I think you should take a step back.
I think you've got 66 episodes of a show to watch before you get to this point, but
Something like that. Yeah, like there's some stuff you should go check and review first before you come here to listen to this episode. But even if you don't, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Cassidy really appreciates it.
Happy to have you.
We really are. Thank you for listening. And so I'm going to read a synopsis in my own words, and then we're just going to talk about these episodes. So, episode 21, Unknown Factors. We open with Nightwing and Black Lightning breaking into Granny's house. Oracle loses them once they enter the house, and they get boom-tubed out. Oracle calls Calder, who doesn't want to get involved due to his league ties, but unfortunately he's the only one available. Calder and his man decide to make it a date. Mal and Karen are discussing their baby's future, and Victor reconciles with his father. Things are still tense between Violet and Brione, but Dr. Jace doesn't think Violet should tell Brione that she's dying just yet. Instead of trying to ninja his way in, Calder rings the doorbell, and he has a nice chat with Granny before they are taken on a little trip. Karen gives birth to a baby girl, but the baby is immediately rushed off because there are some complications. Karen decides to handle it her damn self, and Granny is gracious enough to let Calder and Wind collect Nightwing and Black Lightning from the punishment of the X-Pit. Granny tells Calder to leave the mother box, but of course he refuses. With that, she makes Nightwing and Black Lightning fight Calder and Wind, as their time in the X-Pit has given Granny control of them. Karen fixes her daughter's heart and considers altering her DNA. Granny orders the mother box to be killed, and Victor and Violet feel it, and they go help. Violet heals the mother box, cleanses Nightwing and Black Lightning, and they get on up out of there. Nightwing is still having some residual trauma, and Brione and Violet reconcile, prompting Dr. Jace to send a text to Ultra Humanite. After the credits, Granny tells Darkseid that she has found the anti-life equation. And that's the episode. So, quick question for you as a Smallville expert. What was Darkseid's goal? Or what was Darkseid trying to do in Smallville?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, and that's fine. That's okay. Typically, when we see Darkseid, the anti-life equation is his ultimate goal. The anti-life equation essentially overwrites free will, which Granny explains in the next episode. But just generally speaking, that is what Darkseid's primary objective is. He wants to rule everything. He is the epitome of conqueror. He wants total control of free will. And the anti-life equation is what he is always in search of in order to do that. Now, that's pretty consistent across Darkseid's appearances and things, and I would venture to
I
guess that
want
that's
to tell
his.
you that I've never heard of the anti-life equation actually until this, which, based off of other Smallville discussions, not shocking
Yep,
that
that's about
let's
right.
because you and I have discussed on and off the pod that Darkseid was a wild bring into the Smallville universe in the first place because of how
Large scale he
small.
is.
Yes, because of how large scale he is, and the whole purpose of Smallville was so that Clark was not Superman. Um, and I really, my remembrance of him was just a guy trying to corrupt Earth, not necessarily, not a guy. Like he
Oh
was
yeah,
dark
dark
side.
side.
Like he was as big as he was, except at the end of it. But I don't believe I heard about anti-life equation until I was watching this.
And perhaps they didn't go there because he's not Superman yet.
Perhaps.
So, like, if it's a situation where they were gonna keep going and they were gonna keep telling that story, maybe eventually we were gonna get there. But maybe because it's early Superman, it's also early Darkseid or whatever. But cool. Um, I didn't know because again, he's usually looking for the anti-life equation when we see him. Like ultimately, it may or may not come up, but like that's his end game. So I didn't know what Smallville did with him and if
I
that came up.
it was a lot of because they were trying to do a lot in that season that he was a part of, like because that's Gordon was on there a lot for that one. Granny Goodness was on there a lot for that one. Obviously, it was a lot of corruption, a lot of anti-heroism rhetoric.
Okay.
A lot of that. I really don't remember it being rather than just like we want this to be anti-hero and then or like we just don't want the world to be good.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So, and this is I don't know if the anti-life equation was brought up until this in this show.
Hmm.
Like I think this is our first time hearing about it in this show, but I think. Anyway, uh Nightwing and Black Lightning are about to break into Granny's house. We open with Cat Grant interviewing Granny, and it's live. So they're like, "Cool, she's not home." So let's go ahead and do some surveillance, some
Check it
recon.
out.
We're just looking.
Take it a gander.
Obviously, Granny's got some apocalyptic tech in there, and we wouldn't want her to slip and fall and hurt herself, now would we? And
Mm.
it's so funny because Nightwing is often a moral compass,
Hmm.
but to see him like he's real gray in this moment.
Yes.
And he's of course being vague on purpose because he's trying to keep Black Lightning in the dark a little bit.
Which why bring him along of all of them, but
Because Black Lightning will get it done.
yeah. At what
And
cost? We learn what cost.
yeah. So they go into Granny's house and then there's a robot thing in a chair
Yeah.
and it sends them somewhere.
They're just gone.
Yeah, just the floor opens up.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, because Oracle was like, "Hey, be careful," and then as soon as they enter the house, signal's
Gone.
lost. So yeah, they are disappeared. And Oracle is like, "Oh shit."
Oh dear.
So she calls Calder and because Calder's just watching uh Kita have a good time.
Frolicking with the
Yes,
fam.
having just enjoying life. He's enjoying time with his man,
It's cute.
and he gets a call, and she's like, "Hey, I need you to go get Nightwing and Black Lightning." And he's like, "I can't. Call literally anyone else.
Hmm.
I can't." And she was like, "Oh, everyone else is busy."
You kind of gotta be the guy.
Yeah, she was like, I'm League. I don't have the jurisdiction to do
Mhm.
that." Like based on the legal issue that they face, I can't be connected to that. And she was like, "Yeah, yeah, it's sorry, it's going to have to be you." And Wind is like, "Oh, we made a little date night out of it."
Go together.
And Calder's like, "I would rather not put you in danger, thanks."
Hmm.
And Wind basically says, "I would beat your ass."
He said, mind you, I didn't just up and leave school.
Yeah, I'm better than you. So, Why don't you
I'm
take me?
gonna go.
And Calder was like, I would love nothing more than for us to have a little date night. So, yeah. Then we go to Mal and Karen. Now, for those of you who are friends of the main podcast, there's a guy on our podcast. His name is Brandon. I don't know if any of you have ever seen Brandon, but if you've never seen Brandon, he looks exactly like Mal does in this season. Mal is Brandon. Brandon is Mal.
One
If
and the same.
this show, if Brandon was drawn in the Young Justice style,
There he is.
it's literally just Mal. So if you ever wondered what Brandon looked like, Mal is exactly what Brandon looks like. It's kind of funny,
It is good.
but yeah, like there's not a difference.
No.
Like Brandon is 6'6", and Mal is probably in the same range,
Mm-hmm.
bald with a beard.
Yep.
That like and like weirdly the same eyes. Like Brandon wears glasses. That is the difference. So yeah. And of course Mal is younger than Brandon at this point, but yeah, it's kind of funny
Mm-hmm.
because the first time I watched this, I was like, is that Brandon? So yeah. Shout out to Brandon. But Mal and Karen, Karen is very pregnant,
Very.
and uh, Mal wants a daughter, and Karen wants a son, and so they're talking this, they're talking it up, and they both were discussing how they had been tested for the metagene, and Mal was like, "Don't you want to know?" And she was like, "Not really, but also yes. Go ahead and
Yeah.
tell me." He was like, "Nope, I'm normal as fuck. No metagene."
No issue here.
So, and they start talking about since the world is changing. It would probably be good if our daughter did have a metagene because with the world she's going to grow up in, we want her to be fully prepared. We want her to have all of the possible advantages and not fall behind.
Right.
And Karen is like, I just want a healthy baby. That's
Right.
it. Like I'm good if she doesn't have powers because I just want this baby to be healthy.
Fine. Yeah.
Like I'm perfectly fine with us not having powers. I'm perfectly fine with your brain and how smart you are, Mal, because it often seems like Mal feels like he's not good enough sometimes.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a reasonable insecurity under the circumstances.
I agree.
But also, she picked you.
At the end of the day.
So she wants you, obviously. And so, yeah, they're having that discussion. And we also see that Victor and Silas are on good terms. So
Whatever.
here's the thing that I really had a problem with. Victor apologized. Silas did not.
Yeah.
I had a big problem with that.
And that just further shows that he did not deserve Victor's peace. I don't know. I the moment that scene opened, I was like, what the hell are we doing?
I was perfectly okay with them reconciling, but I had a problem with Silas not
The
apologizing.
nonchalance of him being like, it happens, da da da. Like, I'm like, you are a lot of why it happens.
Well, and what it felt like was Victor was apologizing because he was talking crazy, and then Silas was like, "Yeah, we don't need to do that." Like,
Hmm.
I think in Silas's mind, no apologies were necessary on either side. Like, we're not doing that. I'm like, no, no, no. You need to apologize to that boy.
Apologies necessary.
Apologies are absolutely necessary, Silas,
Mhm.
and you need to apologize to him forthwith. Like, you should
Make
be
haste.
begging him to be in your life.
Yep.
And honestly, all this does is speak to how good a person Victor is.
Yes.
Because it did not do, for me, it did not do any favors for Silas. Like, if I'm in this situation, I'm like, nah, Silas, you still don't get access to Victor based on that.
Mm-mm.
Like that was out of line to me.
100%.
But you know, Victor's a good person,
He's so good.
and we saw that. Now that he has been truly cleansed of the father box, it's just all Victor now. And Victor's like, "No, I gotta stay here. But, I'm gonna see you or whatever." So, cool. Um, and then this is so before the end of the episode, where did you stand when it came to Dr. Jace telling Brienne and Violet not to talk to one another, basically?
I stood on the fact that I don't listen to anything that she says at this point. Um,
I mean, like, did it make you trust her more or less, or were you just in the same place?
Indifferent on that situation. I was just because I didn't prior to end of episode reveal, um, I didn't know for whom she was trying to fight for and whom she was trying to play. So I was just like, whatever. Like not necessarily any kind of them not, I wasn't further pushed one way or the other because of that particular situation.
Okay. So, yeah, she tells Violet, like, hey, don't burden him with your death because we might find a cure. And she says to Brienne, like, hey, I love how much you care about her. So let's just let her come to you.
Give her space.
Yeah, give her space and she will come to you when she's ready. So then we go to Calder and Wind at Granny's house.
Yes.
And Wind says the words, I'll never get used to sucking and blowing like this. Cassidy.
He could have just said, I'll never get used to breathing like this.
He could have used the word breathing,
Yeah.
but instead, this man says to his boyfriend that he will never. And I'm like, okay, TV 14, that's what we're doing? We're just saying the word. Okay. All right. They've
Twas joke
there's
for the adults.
there's been an innuendo or two in this show.
A couple.
Yeah, and mostly just hints at things. But he said the words and I was like, "Oh, all right, TV 14. That's one of those like you can't even that's what she said. Like that's too easy. That's just low hanging.
Mm-hmm.
Like and what's funny is I don't remember if pause was a thing in 20 actually it absolutely was because pause was a thing during the Boondocks. So yeah, pause was absolutely a thing during that time and they're gay. So saying pause does like you're not yeah, so they just threw it in there. And I was like that's funny,
Yeah.
but also that's too easy.
Yeah.
And I know that I heard it and I wondered when you heard it, did you hear it the way I heard it? And it sounds like you did hear it the way I heard it.
Because immediately I was like, they did not need to say it that way.
Didn't have to
They
do that.
that was a not a happenstance, that was a you wrote that out the hard way.
Correct. They wrote it out the hard way. That's exactly, yep. That's exactly what happened. And I laughed because that's funny.
It gave me a
And
chuckle. I was like,
and the thing is, I kind of wonder, I mean, I don't know,
mm.
but maybe that's how they joke. Maybe those are the jokes
They're
that those two make.
they're a couple of silly gooses potentially.
Yeah, and they
'Cause
have the
when I
freedom.
think Calder, I
They,
think a silly goose.
yep, Exactly. Yeah, that's between the two of them, we know who the silly goose is gonna be. And so, yeah, but what they are is grown.
Yes,
So, y y'all, okay. If that's what you do, I support you. I support your freedom to do it.
I support the ally.
And honestly, like, so far, I'm okay with them as a couple. I don't know Wind to really have feelings.
I haven't disliked him yet.
And yeah, like I feel like Wind has a wit about him that I am
Oh,
liking.
definitely.
But as you know, Calder, that's my guy. That's your guy.
Our guy.
And if anybody's gonna be with Calder, they need to be deserving of Calder.
Yes,
And
100%.
and so I honestly, I'm just glad it's not Garth. If I'm gonna be completely honest.
I think the world is glad.
Because if it was Garth, I would be mad. How
There's
dare you speak to Calder that way?
someone ships them out there, and how dare they?
Ew. Um, but Wind saying it, I'm like, are y'all cute? Am I
You can't call it
like, am
cute.
I like yeah. So I think that when a lot of times whenever somebody is in a relationship with one of your favorite people, you immediately go in with skepticism
On the
and,
defense,
yeah.
yeah.
But I think that me not knowing Wind is helping him in this situation.
I agree because of, I love all the couples that have come out of this show so much.
I know you do. And
Um,
there's one of them we have to talk about in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
that I was right about.
Yeah,
Um,
yep, you called
but
it.
I I these two, I'm like, if I was gonna judge anybody's partner the harshest, it'd be Calder's. But immediately, as once I figured out it wasn't Garth, I was like, okay, I love them.
That's the thing. I think that that's also true because I walked in believing it was Garth, and now that it's not, I'm like, I like him
It's
because
truly
he's
ignorance
already
is bliss. I
yeah,
don't know anything about you.
he's already on the winning side because he's not Garth.
Correct. I think
Like that's
in
points in the
most
right direction from
because
jump.
you learn too much about other people, and not necessarily that the other people are bad, but you're just like, but there's this option or here. Like the only person I can think of that was like the situation didn't work out was what Lagan. That did not
Yes.
work. I did not know anything about him, and immediately I was like, no.
Yes. Same. We knew he was the fishman.
And look where that got him.
And
Hmm.
just so you know,
Hmm.
um, he does get over McGann,
Oh,
so he will show up at some point in some form later. He is still
he's
alive and
coming
around.
back?
He is alive. He is
Dang.
around,
I mean, I didn't want him dead, but I didn't
of course.
necessarily care to see him.
Yeah. So, anyway, you and I both approve of Calder's man so
Love
far.
him.
And yeah, when he made, I don't know if it was a joke. Problem is, he was probably dead serious. I don't know how
I trust that he
Atlantean
was.
humor works. And yeah, and
Well,
I don't know that Calder would be with somebody who is just, a silly goose. I don't know. Perhaps he likes a silly goose. I, d-
perhaps
I, ah, who's to say? But Calder, if nothing else, is a gentleman.
truly.
And Calder, like, Oracle is like, hey, you gotta sneak. And Calder's like, I'm not doing that
I'm
shit.
not doing that.
Ding dong. Granny opens the door. It's like, good day, madam. I am Calderam. This is my partner, Wind. May we come in, please?
I the whole thing made me laugh because when she's like, sure, and all that, I was like, is that easy?
Yeah, she was like, Aquaman of
Oh
the
no.
Justice League? What are you doing here? And so she's
What
like,
do I owe the pleasure?
yeah, come on in.
Yep.
And so they go into the house. Of course, Oracle loses the feed immediately.
Naturally. Boom.
And Granny's like, "All right, with all the pleasantries, why are you here?"
Mm-hmm.
And Calder says, "Well, it is my understanding that two people, friends of mine, entered your home and have not been seen since." And Granny's like, "Funny you say that. Come with me, Overlord."
Overlord.
And then they gently descend into a boom tube. And as they descend, they are in a giant red box. And this red box is protecting them from what is known as the X Pit. Are you familiar with the X Pit at all?
I was not, and I was a little confused by it.
Okay. So, I mean, that's kind of what the X Pit is. It is just a place where Granny sends people for punishment and or reprogramming.
Okay.
It is I want to say that in Justice League Unlimited, it was presented kind of just like hell.
Okay.
And, there were cages and because I remember in the episode, there was a guy who was like in a box that was shrinking.
Oh.
And yeah, so it's just hellish basically, but yeah, it is pretty much the same thing. It is where Granny sends people whenever she needs to brainwash them or whenever she needs to, offer correction,
Mm.
punishment, yada yada. But yeah. So, she shows them that this is the X-Pit and she's like, "You're free to go collect your people because they needed some correcting." So yeah, you can go
Which
get them if you want to.
all of her acting like this was very for those I'm a millennial that was struck by the Harry Potter watching of our youth and very Umbridge-esque of her. She's an old lady that tries to be unassuming and then she's like, "Well, you must be punished. You weren't behaving correctly." All of this, I was like, it's a very particular type of character, but I think they're the absolute worst.
Okay. And if that's what Umbridge is doing, then yeah, that's
Be
what this is.
familiar.
And I I have not seen Granny actually on Earth among the people living a facade the same way I've seen G. Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time I remember seeing Granny on Earth among humans and like playing a character. Every other time I've seen Granny, it's the one that's on Apocalypse with you know, the staff and the one that was with Desaad.
Yeah.
That's the Granny I always see, but this is the first time I've seen Gretchen, the Gretchen version of Granny.
Okay.
So, yeah. And so with that, um Umbridge, that might line
It
up.
it works like for what I know, because I mean she was humanified there in Smallville as well. Like
Oh,
she
well
was
then I guess
on
that's
Earth.
the first time.
She, she was on Earth for stuff there. I don't know if she went by Gretchen. I feel like she was just called Granny Goodness in Smallville though.
Yeah. I mean
Um,
that's a nickname that yeah, like I'm
yeah,
sure
I
yeah,
just
if she's making pies or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think she was ever given a name, but yeah, it was just like very, very, very surface level, unassuming, but immediately once you talk to her for more than 5 seconds, you're like,
Yeah. And that's kind of what Beast
this is
Boy was
a
like,
little more than corporal punishment kind of vibe.
yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Granny's like, "You're free to go collect your people. You just have to step outside of this box."
You just have to go actually retrieve.
Yeah, and then whenever they
As
step
they're
out of the
writhing in pain.
yeah, when they step out of the box, it hurts, and it's a really good thing Wind was there because Wind is like, "Hey, be Atlantean in here. It
Yeah.
helps."
Mm.
It was like, "Okay, less pain. That's cool." And they're able to retrieve them. And honestly, Granny was super gracious with them.
The whole time, that whole sequence, I was like, she's really just letting them. I wasn't even like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's making them go in there. I'm like, I can't believe she's letting y'all go in there to get them and then bring them in and all of this.
What's so funny about this show, we are usually we see villains being full tilt villain and good guys being full tilt good guy.
Hmm.
We see so much gray in this show from
Hmm.
both sides because we are seeing a lot of I mean, the next episode is completely about the fact that the good guys are doing some really gray stuff.
Hmm.
And there are several times where the villains have been a
Not the
lot,
worst.
yeah, like a lot more gracious than they've needed to be.
Yep.
Again, I'm taken back to whenever no, I'm sorry, whenever my nigga Vandal Savage
Hmm.
dropped them off on the watchtower with a
Yeah.
boom tube, whenever Granny dropped them out in the middle of space, but right in front of, like right outside,
Right
instead
by
of,
their ship so they
because she
can
could have dropped them off
anywhere.
in the X pit
Yep.
if she wanted to.
Yep.
So it almost feels like Honor Among Thieves.
Well, and that was the whole discussion on part of this is like Dick saying we can go in there, whatever. I don't care if it's legal or not. And then Calder being like, no, we've got to be by, like, we're gonna walk
And
up
that's the
like we're
I
supposed to. And she was like, that's how you should have done it.
yeah, like I feel like she really respected Calder just being a gentleman about it.
Yep.
Because whenever I guess in her mind, I am punishing them for breaking the law,
Mhm.
but I have no need to punish Calder. He did everything correctly. So yeah, like her she has some semblance of a moral
Something's
code,
there.
something.
Some.
But yeah, she and also they had the mother box with them, so she could have killed the mother box at any time.
Easily.
And so yeah, there's a lot of like this honestly, I don't know if it's a matter of the bad guys having some semblance of honor or if it's set up this way so that the episode could happen. Because Granny is usually not this generous or like she's not usually there's not this much mercy with Granny ever in my experience.
Well, here's the thing. On that note, I don't think it's so the episode could have. I think it was a show for her. And this is what brings me back to why I brought up the Umbridge thing, because that character is very like, oh yeah, that's fine. And then you find out it wasn't fine. So
Hmm.
like, sure, go get them, bring them back, turns them on them.
Yeah.
So
And
that's more of
it may
maybe
have
where it could
been,
be.
I'm also, because she loves an experiment, she loves a hypothesis.
Yes.
And so it may have been like, let's see how well they do in there.
Curiosities.
Let's see if they're able to get them out.
Yeah.
And
She
another
didn't earn
thing,
a show.
like if hypothetically, if Calder had left her the mother box, then I'm sure that Jefferson and Nightwing just go back to doing things under her control.
Hmm.
So yeah, like I I bet her plan was to just send them as double agents.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I think you're right. That wasn't just that the episode's got to happen. There was an ulterior motive. It was very Lex
I
to be
think,
like,
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
I'll give
I'm
you what you
respectable,
want, and I will still
but I
have what
still
I
am going to
want.
get what I need. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because now I got two double agents. And then she didn't really need to, well, I guess she had to make them fight in order to, get the mother box released. So she's like, I told you you could take those two. But tell your little boyfriend he needs to leave the mother box here.
Hmm.
And Calder's like, it is my understanding that a mother box is alive. So I will not
Hmm.
leave the mother box here. And Granny's like, shame, shame. And you had such manners when you walked in.
What a shame.
And honestly, She could have just dropped them into the pit.
Yeah, but that's not fun.
That's the episode's gotta happen. But
That's
yes, I think also you're right. I think she wanted the show.
she wanted to see what would go down.
She wanted to see Black Lightning and Nightwing on her side because I guess she assumed that they would handle the other two.
Hmm.
And whenever they were like, "We're Atlantean, we're too much,"
Make the most.
uh, you know, the fight is very brief because I was like, I kind of wonder how this is gonna go. We've never seen Wind cook ever,
No.
and I know that Calder can absorb lightning, but Black Lightning is too much when it comes to lightning.
And granted, one of my notes is LOL. I'd be really scared of an evil Nightwing.
Yeah, that'd be a problem.
Not that he's the same level as an Atlantean. That's not what I'm saying, but I was just like outside of that, I was like, I would be scared.
Yeah, like there's a reason he's super chill and like because yeah, him being on that side, yeah, we don't want that.
Mm-mm.
So we learn that the X-Pit has successfully brainwashed these two.
Yes.
Like that has happened. And they fight for a little bit. They're Atlantean, they're too much, and we'll get into what happens after that here in a minute. Uh Karen had the baby had a problem. And Karen is like getting in her suit, and Mal is like, "What the fuck are you doing?
You
You just gave
irritated.
birth. You need to rest." And he's like, "Not my baby. The heart surgeon is too far away. I'm taking care of it."
You want to talk about episodes needing to happen?
And so,
Karen and Mal's whole thing.
yeah. So, I mean, and it opens up a philosophical discussion, but Karen is like, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna fix it. And the nurse, I assume it was the nurse, she was like,
I
I've
thought
assisted. No,
was
she was the doctor because she was the
I
one who
thought she
delivered
was
the
the
baby.
doctor. Yeah, I thought it
She
was
delivered the baby.
the OB. Like I thought it was the
Yeah.
doctor
Yeah,
that
that was
just
the OB.
hasn't done surgery since rotations or something like that.
Well, she hadn't done this surgery.
Well,
She had
yeah,
only
or
assisted because she's not the heart surgeon, she's the baby surgeon.
baby doctor.
Yeah. So, yeah, she was like, "I have assisted and I'll walk you through it." But
You got to go up in there if you can. So
yeah, I've pulled babies out of moms. I never put a mom in a baby.
that line was something.
Yeah. And then, she gets in there and she does the patch. Everything is good because Karen is like, "No, I got it."
Hmm.
So then Karen is like, everything's fine. I'm gonna turn my mic off. I'm gonna
Hmm.
see y'all in a minute. And then we see her going through all of the discussions that have been had. Um, we go back to Mal saying, she should have, like, if there are advantages that we can give her, we should. We go to Karen's dissertation on basically DNA manipulation and how you can do some editing to give some advantages.
Yes.
And we go to the doctor saying, there's a problem. We're gonna have to. And as a parent, yeah, this is an interesting philosophical discussion that is being had because before Karen had the baby, Karen was like, "I just want a normal baby. I don't want to do. We will let Mother Nature take its course."
Right.
And then Mother Nature started doing shit.
She wasn't vibing with
And
that.
Karen was like, "Not my baby."
No.
When I said that, I didn't have a baby yet. Now that I have a baby, and I have the resources to ensure that my baby's going to be better, I have the ability to give my baby an advantage in this ever turbulent world. I think I'm gonna consider that.
Hmm.
And we don't know what decision she made.
Nope.
We just know that she made a decision
Yes.
because she shrinks down and finds the DNA. And she could do some editing, she could not. We just know that she got back big, held that baby and was like, I made the right choice. So, what are your thoughts?
Obviously you and I are in two very different positions, and one of us has children, the other does not. As a person speaking that it has been, that is someone's child, though, it's hard to say because if
That's the point.
exactly, yeah, it's just there's things that help, but then have the potential to other the child. And that's a whole other big discussion. And if the child didn't have to be othered in the first place, or like not even have to, that's not the right wording I want to use, but like the child gets older. If this were to come to light of, oh, I didn't have to be like this, if this is what happened, that's a tough thing because that's not fair. But at the same time, they couldn't, they had the only person that could speak for them was the parent at that time.
Hmm.
Um, Now, granted, too, I don't know in this universe how altering too much after the baby's already got something going on makes a difference or anything like that. But I'm not saying I'm against what she could or could not have done, but it's a hard spot to be in the sense of 15 years from now, 20 years, I never asked for this.
Yep. And that's the problem. There is never a right answer.
Mm-mm.
The reason I say there's never a right answer is because there just as easily as your example of, I didn't ask for this, I didn't want this, why did you do this to me? It could be a situation where daughter grows up with issues and then is like, why didn't you help me when you could?
Yep.
So there's never a right answer.
Same thing. Like there,
Have you seen The Beauty?
the beauty.
It is an FX show, and Ashton Kutcher is in it.
Oh, it's new. It's fresh. I have not.
Yeah. It is from this year, and basically the long and short of it is there is a drug that one can inject themselves with, and it will take them to the peak of human physical condition.
Mhm.
And then there's hijinks and mess and capitalism, and there's a bunch of stuff. But that's the gist of the show. And, you know, does it work 100% of the time on 100% of people? Who knows? Are there discussions of why do you hate me and won't let me get this?
Hmm.
There are discussions of I didn't want this, why did you do this to me?
Hmm.
So like, you know, you never know. And it's very easy to say, I want to give my child all of the advantages that are available,
Hmm.
but, you know, that gets murky.
And it's hard because whatever this could be is a big thing. And I'm just thinking of my own youth and me being cognizant for some decisions that were made for me. I'm
I mean,
hindsight, even I still am like, why did we do that way?
I even think of The Boys. The Boys is another show
Mm-hmm.
where every superhero is made with a chemical.
Hmm.
So there are parents who choose to inject their children with this chemical as babies,
Right.
and those children eventually come up with superpowers. The children did not ask for those superpowers, and it could be a situation where the parent was paid or the parent is trying to exploit the child, or like it's one of those situations where a lot of the children are like, why did you do this to me?
Hmm.
And so yeah, like again, it could, like, that was your exact example, is like she could grow up and be like, I didn't ask for this. And The Beauty, again, it shows some like, why won't you let me make myself beautiful?
Hmm.
It's like, because you don't need it, but
It's all convoluted. And again, like, not a parent, but I have had discussions with friends that are parents, my own parent, all of it. Parenthood is one of those things that can be both a very selfish and selfless position to be in because you want that for them, but if they can't talk for themselves, it's a well, I'm doing it kind of thing because I want it for you, but it's so layered.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
So
it's always not always, but like a lot of people do the best they can
yeah,
with this.
100%. And when I use the word selfish, it's not necessarily in a negative way of things. It's
Yeah.
just
It's
it's
protection
hard.
as
Yeah,
far as you're concerned. Yeah, like
exactly.
you are doing everything that you can because as a parent, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
So,
And again, that way
yeah.
you can have somebody talk to them for them. You are their voice until they can.
Yeah.
So what will they make? Yeah.
Because even and we probably shouldn't be getting this philosophical on this show, but there are some people who are so religious that they won't allow certain medical interventions.
Yep.
Those people also genuinely believe they are protecting their children.
Yes.
And, you know, there's a lot to be said about that. But that is the situation. So, like, parents are literally doing what they believe is best with all of the information that they have.
Yep.
And who's to say what the right decision is after, because hindsight's always 2020. So it could always be a situation where it's like, oh, if I would have known that this would happen, I wouldn't have done it. There was no way to know that. I literally did what I thought was best to protect my child. And that's what this is.
Yep.
So, yay, it's a very nuanced discussion. So,
Welcome to the DC animation and parenthood discussions.
yes, welcome to Philosophy Corner. Uh, so back to the violence. Uh, the fight is happening, and Aqua, uh, I'm sorry, Calder, and because I was about to say Aqualad. That's not his name,
No.
and I will. He's not Aquaman in my heart. He's Calder. Uh,
Calder.
he says to Granny, "Call me Calderon."
Use my full name when
Yeah,
you speak to me.
yeah, full government. No nicknames for you, grandmother. So, they're fighting, and he's like, "Hey, Overlord, if you could kill the mother box, that'd be great." So Overlord starts killing the mother box, and both Victor and Violet are like, "You feel that? Yeah, I feel that." Boom tube, and everybody's like, "He can open boom tubes?"
You could do that. That was so funny to me.
Yeah.
The little like, wait a second.
No, wait,
Little double
whoa!
take.
And so the boom tube opens, and they go through it, and Dr. Jace is like, "No, don't leave me. Shut up."
Bye,
Yeah.
girl. Ugh.
And so Violet arrives, and Cyborg pulls the gun off the wall, and then Violet is like, "Oh, sister, let me heal you." Heals the mother box, and then she's like, "Oh, you two need healing as well. Let me go ahead and take care of that." And she, you know, speaks the blessings over them, and Granny's like, "Oh, that's the language of the old gods."
Interessante.
Because the new gods are the good version of Apocalypse. But yeah, that's old god language. Huh.
Fascinating that you've got that going on there, girl. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. So they get that handled, and then luckily Oracle is around the corner. Uh she's I'm glad, I mean, not bulletproof glass, I guess.
No, but she just
Yeah. She was like, Oracle was able to be like, and I helped.
and I was
Which
like,
she
you're
absolutely
a
did.
big girl. Yes.
Yeah. And
Good
she couldn't hear
job.
what was going on, but yeah, she helped right on time.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I'm surprised that glass wasn't some kind of weird special glass that you couldn't see through, but whatever. The
Hmm.
episode needed to happen. So they get on up out of there. And then Black Lightning is pretty okay, but Nightwing, he's still suffering.
A lot.
He's not okay.
No.
And then we see that Brienne and Violet finally reconcile. Like they hug and they're good. And Dr. Jace is like, "Oh shit." So she sends like, "Hey, complication. What let's make some moves." And we finally learn who her mentor is.
Yep.
It is Ultra Humanite.
A bad guy.
Ultra Humanite. You and I talked about Ultra Humanite in season one. He was a part of the Injustice League. And you know, a bad guy.
A bad guy.
So whenever you saw that that was her mentor,
That's
what?
that whole thing. I was like, did
Yeah,
you?
I knew that you would have a reaction there.
Thanks for proving me right yet again. Freaking Dr. Jace.
Yeah, never trusted her, and I'm glad.
And what have I said? The evil ladies on this show, very smart, very thorough. They
Very
know what
capable.
to do it, very capable the whole time. And we'll get more into it next episode, but I'm like, this woman knew exactly what she was doing.
We're gonna get way into it next episode. So, what did you think of this episode? Oh,
the
P.S.
the
There was an after credit scene.
the
Um,
post-credit scene that Spencer had to remind or tell me, guys, because these days episodes will just autoplay if you're watching on streaming, and for some reason there's not a feature that says, "Hey, by the way,
yeah.
there's an extra scene."
We are watching this on HBO Max. HBO Max did not alert us. Like it, if you don't press anything, it will go to the next episode before the after credit scene. So, in the after credit scene, Granny reports to Darkseid like, "Hey, I believe I have located the anti-life equation."
Dun dun dun. It wasn't as since I didn't realize I missed it until after watching episode 22, but I was like,
Yeah,
ah, dang, thrilling.
because I text you about it and I was like, if you've already watched 22, not super consequential.
But then I felt left out, so I was like, I gotta go watch this.
Of course.
And then I was like, oh, dang, that's what we just dealt with.
Yeah. So now, what did you think of the episode?
Um, I after understanding the exit, right, a bit more, I was like, that was just awful to look at.
Yeah.
I don't like watching torture in any form, be it live action or otherwise. Too empathetic for that stuff, like torture specifically. If there's a battle, that's one thing,
Yeah.
but prolongment, I hate it. Um,
And it was people we like.
People I adore, and I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. Um, so did not like that. Did not like our little Silas moment, but whatever. Um, and yeah, but I had a time,
Okay.
and it wasn't a bad one.
Okay. All right. And that takes us to episode 22, Antisocial Pathologies. We open in a meeting where Granny is updating the light, after which Slade pulls up on Tara, asking why she hasn't been sending updates. He immediately starts manipulating her, and Dick is still in bad shape after the X-Pit. Black Lightning puts together that Batman Inc., the Justice League, and the Squad have all been in collusion, and he makes a scene. Meanwhile, Dr. Jace puts a control chip on Tara and Brienne and gets in the car with them and Violet. She tells Violet that she and her mentor have found a cure, and they go to meet Ultra Humanite. Dr. Jace was promised that she could leave with Tara and Brienne if she delivered Violet. Granny changes the plan a bit and takes everyone to the X Pit to test her theory that Violet is the key to the anti-life equation. Granny puts Dr. Jace in the X Pit and makes her reveal her true intentions, and after coming out of the X Pit, Tara removes Brienne's control chip as Slade gave her an anti-control chip. Tara and Brienne attack, but Granny escapes with Violet and Ultrahumanite escapes with Dr. Jace. Ultrahumanite alerts the light about the anti-life equation, and Tara and Brienne return to the tower to update everyone about Dr. Jace. And that's the episode.
There it is.
So, the meeting or the episode starts with Granny meeting with the light and basically updating them on the situation at her house. And Slade is like, huh, that's all new news. And Tara has been with them this whole time.
Interesting that I haven't heard any of this.
Yeah, like, why is this news to me? All right, cool. So he pulls up on Tara. Tara's, minding her business.
Mhm.
And then she almost gets chloroformed.
And
Eh,
then he has the nerve to go, easy, princess. I'm like, bro, do you know how you just came up on this woman
Yeah, she should have killed you.
in LA in a
Yeah,
back alley at night?
yeah, the way that you covered her mouth. Yeah, Slade, she should have put you down.
Easy, princess. Who?
Yeah, don't easy princess. Nah.
Mm-mm.
But she was like, "Oh, Slade, what are you doing here?" He's like, why haven't you been telling me what the situation is? Are you starting to fall in love with these cretins?
Ugh.
Are you have a soft spot for them?" And she's like, "I haven't updated you because I am still collecting information." And he immediately starts manipulating her. Like, "I'm the one who loves you. They don't. Rion, what he was partying when you got captured. Dr. Jace ain't shit. Forager ain't shit.
No.
Cyborg, no, all of them ain't shit. I am your one true savior.
Hmm.
Don't forget." But and just so we're clear, take this just in case you need it. Just in case. We don't know what he gave her yet.
But she took it.
And we see that Dick is still not okay. I want to say real quick, Alfred looked like he had a stroke. I accidentally paused it on Alfred's face, and one side of his face was a little lower than the other one.
He's old.
He's old, but yeah. So he's like Batman Inc. is there because Dick is sick.
Yeah.
And so what did you
Oh,
have anything going on in your mind?
first of all, sorry, go back to last episode. I got a chuckle out of Granny calling him Richard, like going by his full name.
Government,
Like,
yeah.
I was like, who? I was like,
Jefferson,
who's Richard?
Richard,
And I was
yeah,
like, oh yeah, no, Dick.
yeah. It's I forgot. Yeah,
Funny.
she would know that information.
And that just reminded me of just like Richard. Um, but what was going through my mind with him and just
Him still not being okay.
I would okay, I just said I don't like watching the torture, and this is still aftershock of torture that I was stressing. I did not like it. It made me anxious. It made me also upset and confused because Jefferson's over there to the side standing up healthy.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
And this show will kill a person.
They will take people away from me.
Yeah, like Violet be dying all the time, but like sometimes,
And they've got a quota this season and it's been a minute.
yeah, nobody consequential has died.
No.
And so I had a theory
Mm.
on why Jefferson was fine, but Dick wasn't.
The lack of meta.
The lack of meta could be a theory.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my theory was because this was mental torture, Jefferson has a clear conscience. Dick doesn't.
Um,
And so I think that because and that's only because this was like brain mental torture. Like it was
yeah.
physical torture too. But your theory makes more sense because Calder and Wind were pretty okay. Like they were like, it still sucks, but this is better than not doing it.
Right.
So your theory makes way more sense that like he's a meta, so he healed faster than Dick, who is a normal human man.
I like that thought process though, because that fits the entire line of the episode.
Yeah. So that's and with the episode, with the fact that it was psychological torture and all that, my thought is Jefferson, again, he has a clear conscience. He, as far as like morality and doing stuff, doing the right thing for the right reason, all that, like he's clear.
Right,
Dick has had to be gray and questionable.
right.
And so that is why I decided, because it was not like we don't know right now. This episode does not tell us
No.
what happened. But my theory is because Jefferson has a clear conscience and Dick probably doesn't, is why Dick's having a harder time
Right, yeah.
recovering from this.
Mm,
And that's not something that Violet can fix
no.
because they're out having pancakes.
Yeah, they are.
And it's like it's hard to enjoy these pancakes while Nightwing is in there struggling, and I can't help him because she wants to fix people.
She loves to go do that.
She loves to go do that. That is her favorite thing to do.
Mm.
And so, yeah, she's annoyed about it. I was like, you always look at the bright side, and it's like, no.
You know what's bright? Not the light behind Dick's eyes. That's what she kind of went into. It was just like this
Yeah,
really depressed. I was like, God.
and yeah, and Beast Boy was like, God damn. Like, she was all sunshine and rainbows a second ago. I was like,
What 80?
she has the full rainbow spectrum.
Truly.
So, yeah. And so, uh, Bruce is like, Calder McGann, a word? And so they're having a little meeting, and Black Lightning starts just recalling all of the things.
See the dots.
And I was like, oh, okay, detective?
He's got his yarn. He's connecting it to the pictures on the board.
Yeah, did a full conspiracy thing in his mind, and he was like, you motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah.
You've been colluding this entire time. He has a full-blown crash out.
If there ever was a time to use Crash Out, it's here. And you know what? Honestly, as he was like going through stuff, I'm like, kind of valid. Like I know
Yeah,
I'm not upset about you. I'm upset for you.
and mainly because he made it very clear, like I don't want nothing to do with this shit.
Mm-mm.
And y'all tricked me and folded me in anyway when I said very explicitly that I wanted nothing to do with Batman Inc.
Yep.
Y'all backdoored me into Batman Inc. What the fuck?
Mm.
And Cyborg and Forager are just over. So Forager got popcorn. He literally got popcorn.
If anything was to say Forager is Forager, it was that moment. And again, serious right then, but him sitting down to do that, I was like, this guy
Yeah,
is so who he is. Thank
Forager is Forager. And
goodness.
yeah, that was funny that he was just like, I mean, because there's nothing else for him to do.
No.
So Forager and Victor are literally just minding their business over there on
Ellen.
the couch. And we see Dr. Jace upstairs taking advantage of the commotion.
Dr.
She
Who taking advantage of things.
she,
Hello?
she puts a control chip on Tara
Yep.
and says, "Say nothing, come with me." We see that Brione is in the car, and she goes to get Violet and is like, "Hey, I found a cure. We're going to take you to go handle that, and these two are here for support." Yes, Dr. Jace.
Of course.
And I'm a terrible person because I was like, that's why you wear the hijab. Real tough to put a control chip on you in a hijab.
I mean,
I mean, you
kind
can't. You can't.
of,
You'd have to. There's a lot you'd have to do.
there's a lot of
A lot of
huh.
maneuvering. I mean, she would just offer to brush her hair again, but
That's what
Yeah,
I was thinking back to was the hairbrushing situation.
yeah. But
While they're fighting down there, let me go brush your hair.
yeah. So, they uh Dr. Jace takes her to the place. She's like, "Hey, go ahead and sit down and I'll set you up." And then Violet has a flashback and she's like, no, this isn't right." And then, of course, Granny's there.
Of
And
course.
one of the things that we see first in the episode is that Ultra Humanite is basically saying, "I have claim to Violet."
Hmm.
And everybody's like, "Those are the light rules." Like, he called dibs. So he has dibs, is essentially what they said. And Granny was like, "Uh-huh." So she goes to upper management
Yep.
and gets her way. She goes right over their heads and is like, I talked to the boss and I will be rescinding your dibs and taking the dibs for myself." So we find out that Dr. Jace made a deal. If
Yep.
she delivers Violet, she can take Brion. And Granny's like, honey, we're not doing that, Overlord." And then well, first she puts a super control visor on Violet. That's the first thing she does. And she's like, "Yeah, I will have control of that girl."
Yes.
And then they go to the X pit. And Granny's like, "I have a theory, and I need to test this theory." So, Violet, in you go.
Choop.
She goes into the X pit and immediately starts healing herself. And Granny's like, "Yes, this is what we wanted. This is exactly what I thought would happen. This is what we're looking for. This is the answer. This is the key to the anti-life equation. However, there's another test that I need to execute." So she throws Dr. Jace into the X pit, and Dr. Jace is just a normal human woman.
Yep.
But Violet starts healing her. And because Granny controls the X pit, Granny's like, "Hey, Dr. Jace, why don't you tell us a story?
Tell us a tale.
Yes, regale us with the tale of your treason."
Dun dun dun.
And she goes into this whole story about how whenever I tar these kids, they are reborn as mine. Like, the first time I watched this, because I too didn't trust her.
Mm.
I never fully trusted her. I was never on team Dr. Jace. And she never made it easy to be. But whenever she was telling this story, I just, "You raggedy bitch." Like I was like, "I hate you so much."
Hmm.
Um, so she's been manipulating people from jump.
Left and right, up and down.
And I would like to also PS, she didn't use the word, but she absolutely also called Violet an abomination.
Oh, easily. She was just barely tiptoeing around being, because she was already being pretty awful about how she was talking about her. And I'm like, just,
Yeah.
mm. And I also didn't like, not as bad as what she was talking about Violet, but then she's like, and I seduced Jefferson. Da, da, da. And I was like,
And you clocked that one, you clocked him. You hated it before it happened.
it's like these two cannot happen.
Yeah, before it happened, you were mad about
Mm.
it. So yeah, when it happened, I am sure that you were calling her everything but a child of God
Mm.
because that's what we're dealing with.
Mm.
So yeah. she just starts spilling the beans against her will. And you can see that even though they're control chipped, well, Tara's not, but even through the control chips, they are reacting
Oh yeah.
because how dare you? And it's so funny because they're reacting for very different reasons.
Yes.
Like Tara's reacting because she's like, "Oh, Slade was right. Y'all ain't shit."
Yes.
Brienne is reacting,
You betrayed me.
"Yeah, like
From the
he
start, that was the thing. From the moment I met this woman, I was not about this woman because I'm like, you've been lying to this boy every moment.
correct."
Think back to the parent stuff from before because she's so disillusioned into thinking that she's doing parental things for these kids. She is
Because yeah, she
not.
believes they are now hers now
Yes.
that she has tarred them.
Mhm.
And it was so crazy because she was like, "And Gabrielle was mine too," until I found out she wasn't a meta. And then I thought that me hitting her with morphine activated her metagene, but it turns out that wasn't it at all.
Just a shell.
She's just an abomination.
Oh,
And I was like, that is crazy to
she's
me.
cold.
Yeah. And yeah, seducing Jefferson was just more like, oh, I hate you.
Hmm.
And, manipulating Violet and Brienne to stay apart. And the way she said, like, I made them need me.
Hmm.
It's like, ugh, gross. All of this was terrible. You're an awful woman. And we clocked it. At no point, and I mean at no point, were either of us above like 40% I trust you.
It's just like there's something weird here. There's something I don't
Yeah, I think the closest we got was, and that's being generous, was 40% I trust you, 60% I don't. But yeah, then you find out she's a piece of shit.
like. Absolutely.
And so, yeah, after they come out of the X pit, Dr. Jace and Violet are both exhausted because they've been in hell.
Hmm.
And then Granny was like, "You didn't want to do that, did you? You knew that saying those things was going to piss them off, but you couldn't stop yourself, could you?" And I'm sure that I am not your favorite person right now, am I? But you will do what Granny says, right?
You, you'll do as Granny said. I hate that.
Yep. And so then, yeah. Luckily, Slade prepped Tara, and she, breaks Brion's control chip. They attack very briefly. They get up out of there
Ram.
because, boom tubes.
Boom tones.
And, yeah, they come back to the house. Ultrahumanite says to the light, just so y'all know, Granny was talking some shit about the anti-life equation and how she like has it now,
Mm.
and Vandal Savage broke his tablet. Vandal Savage like, you what?
Me?
Um, and whenever Tara and Brione get back to the tower, after Jefferson has had a full crash out, because I so while this crash out was happening, and then the doctor like what was happening for you?
And
Like
what we're like,
were you
I'm
kind of like a just Jefferson,
I'm stressing for the guy. He's having a terrible time. There's nothing that's gonna help him right now.
a very bad day?
Well, and then it goes back, and then my thought is, while we're with Dr. Jason, she's admitting all of her stuff, and when she said her when I seduced Jefferson, that's when I was like, this man is already crashing the hell out.
Yeah, he's in the middle of a full-fledged crash
And
out
I
right
didn't think
now.
it could be any worse, but it's gonna be.
And
because
that's the thing.
you
He's
are a
he's calling
terrible.
out everything. He's calling out the shit with the outsiders too.
All of
And
it.
we don't hear it, but we see that McGann and Connor are having a mental discussion.
Hmm.
And whenever Beast Boy was made aware of it, he was like, "What?"
Yeah.
The whole first of all, faking Artemis's death should have like that
We
should be
should have
why we're
learned
not doing this
back
anymore.
then.
Yeah, and
I was like,
now y'all are doing and then whenever he finds out that all of it top to bottom was fabricated, he was like, "Oh, this is the worst."
hmm.
And then Barbara says to Bruce, "Hey, have you it, so this mission, like, because I just happen to notice that everybody who is not challenging you was a protege of yours, or you were a mentor to them in some form or at some
Hmm.
point. So they are used to taking orders from you, and that is everyone involved. The only person offering challenges is Princess Diana.
Which love that she said that because earlier, when Diana's called out, I was like, I mean, I don't disagree with the Diana call out. However, there was only one person that was consistently being like, why are we doing it this
Yeah, because
way?
I'm
I
pretty sure
know.
that I don't know, it may have been Black Lightning who said it, but somebody said Superman and Wonder Woman would never.
Yeah, and then that's when
Matter of
Barbara
fact, it may have been Beast Boy who said,
was
yeah,
like, yeah, and Barbara was
they were
like,
like,
no, Diana's been a
oh.
part of it. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Uh,
Yes.
however,
And I think when that was said, it was like a let me think about that a little bit more. Yeah, she was involved. However, she wasn't vibing
yeah,
a lot of that time.
she was not about it.
No.
And so, yeah, Barbara was like, everybody who is involved belongs to you. And
Yeah.
so you're not used to being challenged. Like
Huh.
all the people that were involved are used to taking orders from you. And so, because Wonder Woman is the one who wasn't, and Wonder Woman was the one offering challenges.
Yep.
So, what does that say about this? What does that say about this mission? Is it the mission or is it your mission? Because, and Bruce says to her, like, you agreed to this. She was like, and I will stand
Yeah.
trial for that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
But, I'm
But
just
I'm thinking
saying,
about it.
like, everybody who's involved doesn't challenge you because you've taught them not to,
Hmm.
except the one person who's been challenging you from jump, Wonder Woman, which now Jefferson.
Yeah.
So just putting that on your mind, Bruce.
Just something to chew on.
Yeah. And Nightwing does wake up and he's like, "Hey Jefferson, I'm who you're mad at
Hmm.
because I'm the one who like brought you in and put you in there," which is true.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, if I'm Jefferson, I'm like, no, I'm mad at all you motherfuckers, all y'all. Everybody can get some of this,
Hmm.
except for the teenagers who did not know what was going on.
Hmm.
But yeah, everybody, all y'all, everybody who was in the meeting, I'm mad at y'all.
Yep.
So yeah, Tara and Brienne come back, and Jefferson is like, "Where's Violet? Dot dot dot. Where's Helga?" And if you've ever needed a oh face, that's this time was like oh. So so they break the news to him, and he's like, I don't know if I don't remember the last time I had a day this bad. Everything was so I had gone through so much mental health shit at the beginning of this season. I was finally good. I was finally happy. I was finally back to myself, only to learn that every single piece of my life has been manipulated by somebody that I thought cared about me,
Yeah.
I have to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rough place to be in.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was
What?
rough. And then Tara is like, "Yeah, Slade, you were right. They ain't shit. What do you need? What's next?" Because I'm tired. I'm done with these fucking people. Like all they do, yeah, it's
They're
just a
just
bunch of
lying to each other.
yeah, just a bunch of Benedict Arnolds in here. And the problem is there's a history of it
Yep.
because there's been a lot of secrets had. And it's just so funny that the show was created based on a secret that was exposed.
Yep.
And then there continued to be secrets, and only when everybody put their cards on the table in season one were things positive and worked in their favor. And then season two, we have another giant secret that ends up causing problems that once people are aware of, they're able to work their way out of. And here we are at season three, where there was a giant secret
Yep.
that got exposed
Yep.
because Black Lightning is a detective
Yep.
and his mind was clear. And so, yeah, now that that has been revealed, let's see what happens.
Mm.
Because at this point, it's like, well, the league didn't really need to disband since y'all been doing shit anyway. But the reason it disbanded, quote unquote, is because Batman is doing unsanctioned shit. That's why Calder was very clear whenever they broke into Granny's house, like, I cannot be
Needs
involved.
to be above board. Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot have anything to do with that. So, what did you think of this episode?
Drama, rama, rama. Oh my gosh.
The drama.
That's what this was. It's just, this was Young Justice, the drama.
Yeah,
That's all this episode was it. I don't know. There was obviously new information presented, but it was mainly a lot of like, let's review. Sit down, class, let's review. Let's see the context clues that you have missed in the
yeah.
last bit.
The new information was the Dr. J stuff.
Yes.
The review was the Black Lightning stuff.
But and I say that too, like even the Dr. J stuff became a review as well.
You're right. She did go back over.
Like, yeah, I'm bad. Let's go over everything I was bad doing.
Yeah.
So, but I
Let's look at it from
like
the
how they did
perspective of me being a bad person instead of me being a den mother.
exactly. Just change the light on those scenes a little bit. Instead of a golden hue, we're gonna make it cold and steely. Um, but I didn't hate how they did that because sometimes when you're just like reiterating multiple things that have already happened, it gets a little like droned on, and it's like, okay. Anyway, I like how they handled that, honestly. Because it just, especially the Dr. J stuff, it was like, oh, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. The Black Lightning stuff, yeah, I knew it because I'm a viewer. But the Dr. J stuff, I was like, okay, I wasn't
Vindication.
crazy. Yes, exactly.
And also, I know I've said it already, but shout out to Corey Payton for having a conversation with himself.
Oh, so good at it.
Because the problem is, I'm so familiar with Corey Payton that I knew they were both Corey Payton.
I
But if,
forget until you tell me every time
but
that, like,
that's the, if I wasn't, they sound different enough.
not even forget because I am also aware of Kari Payton, but I'm not as aware of him as a voice actor. So, like, I know it's Kari Payton, but I am so in it that I like forget until you're like, there he was doing it again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, he was just chatting with himself again, wasn't he?
Yay.
Yeah, he's so good.
So, he really is. But I think two pretty good episodes. And I'm glad these were together
Yes.
because they needed to be.
Oh yeah, worked out beautifully.
But anything else on these episodes?
Just whirlwind of a time. Oh, yeah, the end of this last episode with the reveal of the double granny situation.
Oh, yes, the
Name?
double granny.
Because I remember from our last episode, if it was episode 20 with Metron, correct? I believe we had him on that one. Or was he on 19? Or was he even before that?
No, he was in 20.
20? Well, because they ask like
I'm pretty sure it was 20.
pretty
Ah,
goodness X, Y, and Z. And he was like, yes and no. And I was like, what the heck? And then the scene ended with this episode, and I was like, yes and no.
and I would like to also say to that, I am, again, because I'm used to seeing Granny just on Apocalypse,
Yes.
I am not used to seeing Granny as two bodies.
Right.
Like, until this, I was under the impression that I was like, oh, like, I thought it was just one person, boom tubing wherever she needed to be and changing clothes.
Same.
But no, I was like, oh, you have a shadow clone? Oh,
So,
okay. And what's so funny about that is, I think that the question is posed, hey, I know I'm probably not your favorite person right now, but can you confirm that Gretchen Good and Granny Goodness are the same?
yeah.
And when he said no and yes, I heard it as the answer to am I your favorite person right now is no.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
The answer to can you confirm that grannies are the same was yes. But now,
The hindsight of it all.
yeah, it's like, oh, that's
Hmm.
what no and yes meant.
Yeah, because I took it like you said it, but then right when they both popped up, I was like, wait, now that I'm thinking about it, I think this is what he actually meant.
Yes, and same. Whenever I saw them both, I was like, oh shit. Because again, in my head, Granny is not split.
Right.
So this show was my first time seeing Granny split. And that's why when Metron said no and yes, it did not occur to me that that this could be what he meant. And then when I saw it, I was like, ah,
Hmm.
I see what you did there, Metron.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, no other notes on these episodes.
Thank you for bringing that back around town. I'm glad you're here.
Yes.
In the next episode, we will be discussing season 3, episodes 23 and 24. So until then, salutations.